Okay.
Hi, Michael here, and I'm here at the Arizona Electric Festival, and I'm going to assemble and fly the Sky Eagle sailplane as a review. The wing comes fairly complete. I'm going to have to add the aileron horn here and a control rod, and they come with winglets. They're supposedly optional. This one goes for the other wing. Let me grab it quickly. I don't consider them optional. I consider them mandatory. Simply glue it on in place there. The reason I call it mandatory is it breaks off the drag that goes off the end of the wing. This is why they're putting them on commercial airplanes. It saves a lot of gas there. Here it's going to save you energy and give you a better flying sailplane. So while you may not have to put them on to fly, I highly recommend doing it. It's certainly going to be glued on here. Wing assembly is just the control horn, control rod, winglet. The wing plugs into the fuselage. Don't have to do anything except make sure it clicks. The fuselage comes with the motor installed, speed controller that you can see up front, battery compartment with restraining strap, and underneath is the receiver compartment. It's a little more difficult to open because it's a slant, but it's right here. Servos for the tail are included, already installed. I will have to add my receiver and a battery pack, but there's a little bit of construction I'll have to do on this plane, and that is I have to install a tail wheel here that will allow me to land on the runway, and I have to install a piece here that will extend out that is the locking mechanism for the wings. The wing rod goes almost the entire length of the wing. It's very long. It'll add stability to the wing and give it the strength and support it needs. Now, for a sailplane, it's a relatively short wing. Certainly it's an electric plane. I've seen Alex fly it as an electric on another Banana Hobby video. But we'll be trying to see if we can thermal it. I think it's probably a great plane for the slope for low wind conditions and waiting for the wind to come up so you can fly your heavy slopers. We'll see how she does as a sailplane, but it's also going to be a camera plane for me, and I'll mount my GoPro up here while I'm at the event and take some pictures from the sky. So again, the new Sky Eagle, very quick and easy assembly. I'll get back after I finish assembling it and let you know if there were any problems, but for now, it looks like it'll be easy and quick. Well, I've completed the assembly for the Sky Eagle. The glue is drying. I used the glue in the kit, and it will be ready to fly tomorrow morning. Just want to point out a couple of things that were a little tricky. I did cut off the back of the rudder. That's required to fit in the horizontal stabilizer. They give you pins which glue in place to install your rudder. We have installed the wheel. That was very easy, just a little glue, stick it in. The wingtips have little metal trailers, fine to use on a runway where we'll be flying. If you're flying at a grass field, I recommend don't put them on. They're the sort of thing that catches grass and causes the plane to spin when you're sliding to a landing. The wings come on and just clip into place on these pieces right here. I didn't think they had to go in as far as they do. They go in all the way to get a lock and to get your ailerons activated. 4-channel, very simple to build, very quick assembly, and we'll fly it tomorrow. The proof will be in the pudding then, but assembly was easy, balanced with a 2200 battery pack all the way forward. A couple last points on the assembly process. The joiner connector that you see right there has a wire that went down into the fuselage, and I used a bent piece of wire, firm wire, to snag the wire and pull it out to connect it to the receiver. The servos were already installed for the tail, and all I had to do after gluing in the stabilizers and putting the rudder on with the hinge pins was to connect them up with the control horns, which were glued in place with the supplied glue. The wings slide on to the connectors. They have a very long wing rod that goes between them that gives a strength to the wing, but the connectors allow them to plug in so that the ailerons connect simply by sliding them onto those connectors, and the wire in a harness comes down here to the receiver. It requires you to push the wing all the way on. This outer half circle goes to the very end of the insert on the inner wing, and I'll show you that in a moment. There you have the fully assembled left wing. The joiner has gone all the way into the plastic insert, and the aileron wires are now connected to the Y harness in the wing saddle, ready to be activated by the receiver. One last point, the wheel was easy to mount into the fuselage, but I've had to add some glue for a quick remedy because the axle would slide out of the wheel. I lost the first one and had to get a replacement. My recommended repair now would be to cut a little piece of cardboard and glue it so that it covers the area around the axle, leaving the axle totally free to spin, and doing that on both sides. So a little 1/4-inch piece of cardboard glued on the outer edges covering the axle would hold it in place. I've used epoxy. It works fine, but the wheel doesn't roll as freely as it would with the new remedy I've come up with.